Hi, I'm Sarah. We are back with another exit interview. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And now please help me welcome Gary and DeAngelo. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's nice to talk to you.
Oh, thank you for having us.
What a way to go out last night, you guys. That was interesting.
Yeah, definitely not the best way
to go out. There's never a good way.
Is there a football comparison? Are there football terms to describe three teams just banding together and leaving you behind?
Block in the back, clipping, roughing the passer, pass interference.
Well, wait, there's a lot.
There are offsides.
Yep.
Too many men on the field. Too many
yes.
men on the field.
Yep, too many men on the field. Illegal procedure.
Yeah. If you notice, they're all penalties.
Correct.
Yes, that part I did pick up on. All right, this music task just seemed super challenging. Like as soon as you arrived, was there any way that you were gonna get it?
So
be able to figure it out?
For us, we had two of them for sure. We knew two of them for sure. One of them we were pretty sure, but we weren't positive. The fourth one, which was France, had not the slightest clue because at the roadblock, I was only there for literally like 5 minutes. So I'd never heard music. So that never crossed in my head. He even picked up France. I'm like, no, France is not right because I never heard music. So we would have never gotten France. It was unfortunate for that, but I guess I should have did the roadblock longer instead of quicker, but it's unfortunate. But everybody was there for 3.5 hours, so it took everybody forever.
I got a question for you. Did you watch every episode this season?
Of course.
If they wouldn't have put those trunks up, do you think you would have been able to get all four of them in a row the way that they asked?
Not at all. No way. Absolutely
exactly.
not.
And some of the music didn't even sound the same. So like we're trying to just piece it together.
No, the task seemed so complicated. And then also the order was a little confusing. Mm-hmm. But you guys actually were so close.
Well,
we had no idea.
We're
one country off.
I picked up France, and Jerry was like, "It's not France, bro. Put it back." I was like, "You sure?" He was like, "No, there was no music in France. I know. I did the roadblock. I did the detour rather." And I was like, "Okay." So I threw the case back down and tried other cases because he said that wasn't it.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. Would you have ever guessed that those three teams would have banded together and left you out?
So I'll clue you in on a little bit. A lot of people don't know. After the first leg, we actually had a super secret alliance with the Beard Bros that nobody knew. We actually talked to them, and they were in agreement with us. Both of us would help each other get to the finals. So the whole race, we're thinking everything we do, we're going to help the Beard Bros every chance we can. So even in the last challenge, when we said anybody want to work together, and Hung and Chi and both Will and James both said no, the Beard Bros actually came up to us and said, "Hey, if you get the answer, let us know. If we get it, we'll let you know." Because so now we're still thinking our alliance is strong. So we have no idea until they get it right in front of us and then run away from us. That's when we knew we just got backstabbed and they're in a full alliance with them. And we were like, oh, well, guess we're done because we don't have the slightest clue. He's going to go tell them and they're going to get it all.
Wow.
Look at her face, D. Nobody had no idea. See? The revelation.
I was just going to say, bro, you wasn't supposed to say all that because everything I said at the finish line didn't supposed to make sense until right now.
Yes.
Now it all makes sense.
Is that the stuff you were alluding to that wasn't great?
No, that's not it. That's not it at all.
Okay.
I'll clarify for him. Because I don't like the way he talks. He knows. He tries to embarrass me, No, to be honest, though, for him, the whole thing is from the time we got on the mat to the time you leave to go to the pit stop, the race is amazing. He loved it, everything. The problem he had is after the pit stop, you have to go to a hotel, sit in a hotel room. We'll see the Eiffel Tower from a hotel room. We'll drive by Angkor Wat, but you can't experience any of it. So every time we travel together, he gets to experience all these things. Well, now he just gets to see it, drive by it, and wish he could go see it. Now he has to come back and see it and to experience it. That was the frustrating part for him. So he's every leg, he's like, I wish I could have done this. So I'm literally talking to him off a ledge. I'm like, D, calm down. It's a race. That's what we're here for. So, but that's the thing is like his whole mentality, because when we preface everything, when we started, I told him the Amazing Race, you get to experience all these things. You get to go all these different places. And I binge watched 10 seasons. In previous seasons, teams got to walk around, see different things. They had time to do that. We did not. We were never given the ability to do it. So he was a little under false tense with that. So for him, he was a little frustrated, and that's where it all boiled over for him. So that was a lot of what it was.
I just want to let you know this, to put this in context for everybody out there, but still, I'd never heard of the Amazing Race. I had never heard of it.
He doesn't watch TV.
I don't watch TV like that. So when he said, he was like, hey, man, you got to watch some seasons, I was like, all right. I put them on in the background and like went and did whatever I needed to do, because I'm like, dude, it's a competition. Let's go compete. Right. So there's no point in me doing any of that. So now when he tells me this, it's sexy now. Like, oh, we get to go out and we get this. This is going to be awesome. It was not even close.
So I'll use these words he's used previously. So asking you the same question. If you drive by Angkor Wat, wave as you drive by to go somewhere off in the corner and don't to get experience, how mad are you going to be that you didn't get to truly experience?
Do you say, how do you tell people you saw Angkor Wat?
Right.
Like, I want to know how would you explain it to them? Like, did you go?
Well, maybe you just say, I was on the Amazing Race. I got to compete.
No. I'm asking you right now, how would you tell people you saw Angkor Wat? How did you see Angkor Wat?
I saw it as I rode by while I was competing on the Amazing Race.
Yeah, but then your follow-up questions are, well, what was it like going into Angkor Wat? What did you feel when you were there? Well, we didn't get to do that.
Yeah.
That's where those questions would come. And I know that's D, he likes to have a story behind seeing things.
Sure.
And he did, like I said, he enjoyed everything during the race. Like he enjoyed doing things that nobody would get to do otherwise. That was all good. It was just getting to be so close to something but not get to experience it. That's the thing that frustrated for him. And that's where his comments came off the way they were. They weren't the best choice, which I told him, but they're just taken out of context until you know why. A lot of people don't know you don't get to experience those things. You have to sit in a hotel room. You just see it. You don't get to truly experience it. It's a whole nother level.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to make sure everybody know this about Gary though. Like obviously when we got eliminated, I was pissed, and I got to tell this story because it's probably the funniest he's ever been in his entire life. Like Gary jokes suck. Okay, he's not a good joke teller.
Hey, hold on, D. Before you continue, do I need to pull up the roast I had of you? Because I can give her the audio of my roast.
No, you can't give her that. You can't give her that. Oh, his jokes suck, right? So we're jogging up to the mat, and before like they kick us, he stopped me. He go, D, and I'm like, what? He said, we get to this mat, don't embarrass me.
True
and I'm
words.
Like, all right, bro. I said, all right, bro, let's just go. Let's get this over with, bro. We eliminated. We're going home. So we get to the mat, and obviously I said what I said at the mat. We get in the car. We're headed back to the hotel, and like I'm mad at him. I'm not talking to him. He pissed off at me, and he goes, D. And I go, what? He was like, I told you not to embarrass me, and you did. I thought that was the funniest stuff he's ever said. I died laughing. I was like, I'm still mad at you, though. Because if you know Gary, like it's not a lot to you guys, and it's kind of one of those things you should have been there. But knowing Gary is truly, and I can't say this about a lot of people, he's really a good person. And because he's a good person, when he says things, I respect the fact that he said those things. So I try to do those. So that's why when I give him my word, I don't ever go back on my word. Had I been one of those guys, I'd have never did the Amazing Race. I'd have never did it.
So it seems like you guys
technicality.
It seems like you guys have a really good relationship, though. Did this race affect your bond?
Yeah, so honestly, everything you saw in the race, that's us everyday life. When we travel, that's how we are all the time. We always
Everyday
argue
life.
and bicker with each other. Everybody thinks we're going to fight. We don't even get close to mad. Because, like I'll say, I still his saying. He always says this: we're not emotionally tied to the things we say to each other. Like
Nah,
we can
don't.
say literally whatever we want, but we know it's never going to truly affect us because we're just messing with each other. It's all about poking.
Yeah,
A lot of that comes from football, having thick skin, because an athlete, you're always joking with your teammates and stuff like that. So that's just how me and him always have been. On the race, making us close, we're still the same we were then. Only thing I really learned about D, though, was I literally found out that I truly have control over him on the aspect of if he gets mad, I can calm him down. I have the ability to calm him down and get him out of situations that nobody else is going to be able to. I can stop him from doing things. I can stop him from talking him off a ledge. I didn't know I had that ability to that level until the race. So now that I have that, he doesn't like it because now I'm going to use it against him.
Nah. So and thinking about that, like the race just exposed me, and I don't like that. I already had a horrible time, and then it's going to expose me. Unbelievable, Gary.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, now I wanted to ask you about the U-turn in Cambodia, and maybe now we know about you and the Beard Bros. This sort of changes things. But did you guys have a U-turn plan, or was this a decision in the moment?
So honestly, it was more in the moment because we knew Ishwar and a partner were behind us, and we were at the fish challenge. It literally took like 10 minutes to do that. It was not a long challenge. We knew the gardening would take longer. So as we're going up on the boat, we're like, okay, you turn ahead. What are we thinking, D? And I'm like, and I tell them, I said, well, if they're at the gardening challenge, we know that's going to be longer. They were right ahead of us, so they can't be finished yet. If we U-turn one of them, it's going to take them 10 minutes at the most probably to do that. So it would be like a waste. We know Ishwar and a partner are behind us, so they did the fish. Why not send them to the longer challenge? Because they said it took them an hour to the gardening. Yeah. So, and we had an alliance with the Beard Bros, we thought, so we would not have done that to the Beard Bros right there. So our only logical thing was Ishwar and Aparna because they did the easier challenge in our eyes. And if we didn't, we would have been eliminated. If we U-turned any other team, we would have been eliminated because we were there for like 3.5 hours at the tile.
I'll tell you this, and this is the honest truth, and this is how things work. Had Hung and Chi showed up at the fish thing, we would have U-turned them.
Correct. But they got lucky that their boat took them to the other one.
Right place.
Yeah.
They took them to the wrong one. Had the boat took them to the right place, we would have U-turned them.
Right. And then maybe the next leg would have gone differently, maybe?
Correct. Well, I still think the Beard Bros would have U-turned Ishwar and Aparna because of their alliance. So Ishwar and Aparna still would have been U-turned. It probably would have played out the same exact way, to be honest, because Hung and Chi, they finished before us. So even if they were delayed 10 minutes, we were there longer than 10 minutes after they left. So,
Gary, how frustrating was it watching DeAngelo do the tile challenge?
So why do we got to bring that up?
No, it was. I think the most frustrating part was I would watch him come over multiple times, and he always comes over at the same part, and he'd watch the same exact stuff, and then always leave at the same part. So he never watched the very beginning. So he still never knew what it was until he watched on the show where I told him. He used some other kind of liquid. He didn't use the actual wax that you're supposed to use. And somehow it worked with the actual liquid thing he used. So he still didn't do it right, but he got it done somehow. But I did get a nice little nap in. So I did enjoy that, but I wish it would have been quicker because I do think things could have been a little different. Because I think if we could have got, I don't know, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. But it was super frustrating, and I couldn't help him because I knew exactly what he was missing.
That's really dislike the towel conversation. Can we talk about something else?
Yes.
That was a really dark place in my life.
But was it fun being sassed by Aparna, DeAngelo?
I'm going to tell you something. I have never in my life felt so helpless. And so, because this is my mindset. I'm already sucking at this towel. I've been here for 3 or 4 hours. I'm starting to cramp up. And then she's talking to me. And I'm trying to hold it together. I kept telling myself, don't let her take control of this situation. Don't let her take control of this situation. So everything that I was throwing out there, I don't even necessarily remember what it is or what it was I was saying. I was just trying to defend myself while holding her back, while trying to create a tile that I have no idea how to create because I'm missing the first part of this tile. And I'm just like, had this been anybody else, I felt like they would have stopped her from talking. But then I remembered it was reality TV and they don't give a damn. So I am sitting here taking the harassment from a partner for no reason at all. For no reason at all. I've been this model citizen and nobody on the show like
you U-turned them.
Why
would you U-turn them? It was your fault you U-turned them.
No, this is not, bro, this is not just, I'm not just talking about a partner here. I'm talking about everybody. It seems like everybody, not the team. They like the team. They just dislike me.
No. But I will say a lot of it started from the beginning because when D's in there and a partner runs in, D had literally forgot that he U-turned him.
Yeah.
So he literally did not remember he U-turned. So when he said, "Hey guys," he was not thinking that he just U-turned them. So his reaction was like, so he's a little bit surprised at first that she came at that way, but then he realized, oh, I U-turned him.
Yeah, okay. So I want to make sure I clean this up too. So people be like, oh, he crazy. How did you forget that you U-turned them, right? That's a big moment in the race, correct?
Correct.
So you got to understand, we flew in from one other country to another country. How much sleep do you think we got?
Right.
And we get off the plane and we go straight into race mode. So when I get there, that's why Gary was able to take a nap because he was tired. Because you don't get much sleep on the race.
Yeah.
So because of the time change in the different countries. So when she came in, I genuinely forgot. I was like, oh snap. Gary was like, you just U-turned him. I was like, oh, that was today? That happened today?
Yeah, plus the tile challenge felt like a day in of itself, right? You're already there for so long.
It was very long. Can we talk about something else?
Yes, I want to tell you, it was a pleasure to watch you guys. You're very entertaining. It was very fun, and congratulations on 4th place because that's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
That's not impressive. That's not winning. You don't get impressed.
Hey, I'm going to clarify so D can stop.
Number one.
Yes.
So obviously you want to be number one, but when we started this race, our overall goal was, hey, we want to see every country. So in a way, we did achieve that. We saw every country. We know it's hard to win the $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
We know only one team can do it. We know, yes, we would like to have been in the finals, but when we initially started, our overall goal was to see every country, and we did it. So that is a little bit of an achievement, but I agree. The way we lost, not a fan of, but it's whatever. It happens. They were smart. They played their lines to the end.
I'm gonna tell you right now. At the beginning of this thing, I was in it to see every country, but as we kept going, I was like, "Oh snap, we got a chance to win this thing." So my mindset changed.
Right.
It was changing, and I think it had already flipped. I already knew I was in the finals. And to find out that I wasn't, oh no, I'm mad. I'm salty 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you guys chatting with me.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.